You wake up. It's 3 a.m. The room is dark. The house is quiet. And then you realize you can't move. Not your arms, not your legs, not even your fingers. You try to scream, nothing comes out. And standing in the corner of your room is something, a shadow, a figure watching you. Your heart is pounding. Your mind is completely awake, but your body is locked. This isn't a nightmare. You are fully conscious. This is sleep paralysis, and it has been terrifying humans for thousands of years. Before we dive into the darkness, let's understand what's actually happening inside your body. Every night, when you fall asleep, your brain cycles through different stages, and one of the most important stages is called REM sleep, rapid eye movement. This is the stage where you dream. And here's where it gets interesting. During REM sleep, your brain does something incredibly clever. It paralyzes your body completely. It does this on purpose, so that when you're dreaming of running, fighting, or falling, you don't actually act it out in real life. Scientists call this REM atonia, a full-body muscle paralysis that protects you every single night. Now here's the problem. Sometimes your mind wakes up, but your body doesn't get the message. For anywhere between a few seconds to 20 minutes, you are completely conscious, but physically frozen. You can see your room, you can hear sounds, you can feel the weight of your blanket, but you cannot move a single muscle. According to research published in Sleep Medicine Reviews, nearly 8% of the general population experiences sleep paralysis at some point in their lives. For students and psychiatric patients, that number jumps to nearly 28%. This is not rare. This has been happening to humans for a very, very long time. Here's what fascinates me most about sleep paralysis. Long before neuroscience existed, long before anyone understood REM cycles or brain chemistry, people all over the world were experiencing the exact same thing. And they all came to the same conclusion. Something evil was visiting them in the night. In medieval Europe, people called it the night hag, an old witch who would sit on your chest while you slept, stealing your breath and your energy. In Newfoundland, Canada, fishermen spoke of the old hag, a supernatural creature that would pin you to your bed and leave you gasping. In Japanese folklore, it was called kanashibari, which literally translates to bound in metal. People believed a demon was physically chaining their body during the night. In West Africa, there is a spirit called the Ogun Oru, a nocturnal visitor that possesses the body and silences the voice. In ancient Persia, it was described as a dark creature that would descend on sleeping humans and press down on their chests until they could barely breathe. Same experience. Different continents, different centuries, no communication between them, and yet the same shadow, the same chest pressure, the same paralysis. For thousands of years, humans explained this through demons, spirits, and supernatural forces. It wasn't until the 20th century that science finally gave us an answer. So what is actually happening when you see a shadow figure in the corner of your room? Your brain is malfunctioning, but in a very specific, almost logical way. During sleep paralysis, three things happen simultaneously. First, your body is paralyzed by REM atonia, as we discussed. Second, your brain is still partially in a dream state. The same systems that generate vivid dream imagery are still active. This means your brain is projecting hallucinations directly onto your real environment. You're not dreaming, but you're not fully awake either. You're stuck in between. Third, and this is the part that explains the demon, your brain activates what's called the threat detection system. The amygdala, the part of your brain responsible for fear, goes into overdrive. It senses that your body cannot move. It decides you are in danger, and it starts scanning the environment for a threat. And when the brain expects to find a threat, it creates one. That shadow figure, that dark presence on your chest, that is your own fear, given a physical shape by a hallucinating brain in full panic mode. Research from University of Toronto found that during sleep paralysis, people consistently report three types of hallucinations. The intruder, a dark presence felt or seen in the room. The incubus, a crushing weight on the chest, making breathing feel impossible. And vestibular motor hallucinations, the feeling of floating, flying, or being dragged out of your body. This is why sleep paralysis sits at the heart of so many supernatural stories, alien abductions, demonic possession, out-of-body experiences. Not because these things are real, but because the human brain generates experiences so vivid and so terrifying that they feel more real than reality itself. So why does this happen? Why does the brain fail to coordinate properly between sleep and waking? Researchers have identified several key triggers. Sleep deprivation is the biggest one. When you are chronically underslept, your brain becomes desperate for REM sleep. And when it finally gets the chance, it enters REM so aggressively, so quickly, that the transition back to waking becomes unstable. Sleeping on your back significantly increases the likelihood of sleep paralysis. Studies show that back sleepers experience it at nearly twice the rate of side sleepers. The exact reason is still debated, but it's one of the most consistent findings in the research. Irregular sleep schedules, shift workers, students, frequent travelers all experience sleep paralysis at higher rates. When your circadian rhythm is disrupted, your sleep stages lose their clean boundaries. Stress and anxiety are also major contributors. The same threat detection systems that create the hallucinations are hyperactive in anxious people, making the experience more likely and more terrifying. And here is something researchers did not expect to find. Sleep paralysis appears to run in families. A 2015 study published in the journal Sleep found a significant genetic component, meaning if your parent experienced it, your chances are considerably higher. Your ancestors may have seen the same shadow in the corner of their room. For most people, sleep paralysis is occasional, frightening, but harmless. But for some, it becomes something much worse. People who experience recurrent, isolated sleep paralysis, where episodes happen frequently with no underlying sleep disorder, describe a slowly building dread around bedtime itself, the fear of falling asleep because they know what might be waiting. Clinical psychologists note that repeated sleep paralysis can contribute to anxiety, insomnia, and in some cases, trauma-like responses. The boundary between a hallucination and a memory becomes dangerously thin. There is also a rare but documented condition called hypnagogic sleep paralysis with panic disorder, where the episodes become so intense and frequent that they begin to affect a person's ability to function during the day. And perhaps the most disturbing part? You are completely alone in it. The person sleeping next to you has no idea. They see nothing. They hear nothing. To the outside world, you are simply sleeping, but inside, you are trapped, conscious, frozen, and face to face with something that your brain has decided is very, very real. Tonight, when you turn off the lights and close your eyes, your brain will begin its nightly journey through the dark. Most nights, you'll make it through without incident, but on some nights, the machinery slips. The dream bleeds into the waking world, and for a few endless seconds, you will be exactly where millions of humans before you have been, paralyzed, conscious, and not quite alone. Sleep paralysis isn't a glitch. It's a window into the oldest, most primitive parts of your brain. A reminder that beneath every rational, modern thought you have, something ancient is still running, still watching, still afraid of the dark. If you found this video unsettling, good. That means your brain is working exactly as it should. Subscribe for more videos that explore the strange science hiding inside everyday human experience.